Welcome back, people. We're back with another video. Let's jump straight into this. Make sure to tune in till the end, because this has got so much information in this video. So sit back and enjoy. So everything's Taurus fields. The Earth is a Taurus field. Everything's Taurus, which is electromagnetic field, electric and magnetic. The center of the Taurus field is where the two opposing forces meet in the center. And this is what creates the plane of inertia, the dielectric plane of inertia. Okay? You got red shift, blue shift, positive, negative, south and north pole, right? This is what the ancients were showing with the tree of life. As you can see here, this is the plane of inertia, and this is the Taurus field. Everything consists of this. Everything is a Taurus field. A atom is a Taurus field. Okay, now the inertia is the 0 point. So this plane is a 0 point. It's the balance between two poles. Okay, now this creates matter, because matter is two opposing forces in motion equalized. So these two forces coming together is what creates matter on this physical plane. And this is why we can't see the electromagnetic field, because it consists of one of the elements, which is either electric or magnetic, but when they combine together is what creates this physical plane, which is physical matter, which is light in motion. Now everything is one. Don't get confused by duality. Duality is two opposing forces, but them two opposing forces are created by the same substance. It's two aspects of the same substance. So for example, water and ice are the same thing, you know what I'm trying to say, but it's two aspects of the same substance, because all is one. The whole universe is one. All goes back to the one, which is God, the creator, or magnetism, whatever you want to call it, because magnetism pulsates. Electricity has two poles, red shift, blue shift. Okay, so red shift, blue shift is electricity, and electricity vibrates, and all vibration always comes back to a standstill point. But magnetism is what pulsates. This is why your heart pulses. You breathe, which is a pulse. This is the breath of the universe, magnetism. Now this is why the earth is green, okay? Earth can be spelt heart. If you just move the H to the beginning, it spells heart, okay? Because the heart is the center of the Taurus field, which is the heart chakra for us humans, okay? We consist of the same field, as you already know. Heart being the center, which is green, which is the center of the seven colors. The center of the seven colors. This is the most powerful chakra in your body. People think it's the crown chakra, but it's the heart chakra, because it's the center of the Taurus field. You must align them all and combine them all into one, which is the heart chakra. Now, Earth is green. Nature's green. Okay, this is because we live on heart chakra, the plane of inertia. It's the center of the Taurus field. Okay, and this is what the Egyptians called Isis, which is nature. Nature is balanced, and nature is female, mother nature, because it looks after us with the fruit it grows with abundance, and the water. It's a female energy, mother nature, and this is the symbolism of an equal, balanced arms. This is the scales. It's balanced. Mother nature is balanced. This is why the sky is blue, because what comes after the heart chakra? Blue. Sky is blue. We live in Midgard. This is what the ancients called Midgard. You don't have to take this tree literally. It's a metaphor. We live in Midgard, where both positive and negative duality here. Now Mount Meru. Mount Meru was known as the center of the earth, okay, or known as Hyperborea. And this is the North Pole, the electromagnetic North Pole. But when I say Mount Meru, it's not an actual mountain. They weren't saying there was a real mountain in the center of the earth, a magnetic rock. No. The plane of inertia, okay, there's something called a hyperboloid. That's what it's called, a hyperboloid. And this is the center of the Taurus field. And this hyperboloid is what is in the shape of a mountain, you see? So if I go to this next one, they say Hyperborea on this map. Why did they call it Hyperborea? Because this is the hyperboloid in the center of the Taurus field, and this is the electromagnetic mountain, a metaphor. Mountain, what they're metaphorically saying, this is the electromagnetic mountain at the center, the double vortex, the center of the Taurus field, which is the North Pole. Pole of electromagnetic energy. So this is why they call it Hyperborea. It comes from the word hyperboloid. And the center of the earth is so sacred, and they symbolize this with, obviously, the North Star, which is Polaris. And this is where the swastika comes from, because it's the 4 seasons moving around the North Star. This is the Big Dipper constellation moving around the North Star, which is Polaris. There's that pole again. Pole. Magnetic pole of the Taurus field. And this is where the green, emerald green, aurora borealis comes from. It comes from this center hyperboloid at the center of the earth, where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. The center of the plane of inertia, the center of the plane of inertia. This is the all-seeing eye as well. As you can see, they got the sun, the moon. This is the masonic cosmos, the sun, the moon, and the all-seeing eye, because the eye is Polaris, the eye of the stars. It's all the big eye. Now, the eye means a lot more as well. It's not just that. There's different ways you can interpret symbols. Now, this is the emerald tablets. Deep in Earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Okay? The flower of life is thine own place of thine spirit, and stream through the earth as thine flows through thy form, giving off life to the earth and its children, renewing the spirit from form unto form. This is the North Pole. This is what he's talking about. He's talking about the aurora borealis. Aurora borealis. It's the Earth's aura. Emerald green. Heart chakra. Plane of inertia. Green. Earth. Heart. You see? All related. Now, there's many symbolism of this. So much symbolism of the ancients. The 7 layers of heaven. 7 layers of heaven, which are the 7 planets. Okay? These planets are the solar system. It's the solar system because we are the soul. We are the sun, the soul. And we're inside of a solar system, which is the 7 planets. That's why there's 7 layers of heaven. Okay? The rings of Saturn, the rings of the planets are moving around us. Okay? So, this is what the ancients were depicting in their cosmology. Now, this is the Hebrew cosmology of the earth. This is the Mayan cosmology of the earth. You see, it's all an enclosed system. We live inside of a giant Taurus field. All is atum. It's what the ancients said, ancient Egyptians said. All is atum. Atoms are Taurus fields. Don't be tricked by the modern science today with the current model of an atom. It's completely wrong. They're hiding the Taurus field. They're hiding the electromagnetic field, which is in everything. Absolutely everything is in motion, and motion comes from this field. And you see, this is upside down, but this is I think it's pretty sure it's candles, but the 7 candles, the 7 planets, the 7 Elohim. You see? It all goes back to the stars and the heavens. Now, this is how the earth really works, with the stars on the outside of the cosmic egg, and then the Taurus field spinning around the sun and the moon, the positive and the negative charge. The sun gives you energy, the moon takes your energy. The moon controls monthly cycles. Moon is mon. This is etymology. Mon, month, money, demon, monster. Stir is star, moon star. We are all stars. youngster, minister, superstar, Hollywood star. We're all stars. We come from the stars, which is heaven. Our soul comes from the stars. You see? We are the universe, the image of man is made in the universe. We are a microcosm of the universe. The universe is a macro. We are micro. We consist of everything. The body, mind, and spirit. The sun, the soul. Moon, the mind. Earth, the body. Body, mind, and spirit. We have 12 systems in the body, which are governed by the 12 zodiac signs. Starting at the Aries, which is the ram, the ram of God, all the way down to Pisces and Capricorn, kneecap. It all goes back to the stars. We are the stars. We are the universe. Everything is inside of us. Everything. Like they say, the Temple of Solomon, the temple of the soul and man. The soul, the temple is the body. The soul is the soul. And the man is the mind. The temple of the soul and the mind. Body, mind, and spirit. We consist of the 5 elements. Air, spirit, water, earth, and fire. We consist of everything. We are the universe. We're made in God's image, which is the universe. You see? Now, everything goes back to the stars. The ancients worship the stars because the stars govern everything. They govern the systems in the body. They govern your life. This is why your zodiac is so important, your sign. Each zodiac has a specific element associated with it as well. Aries, which is the first sign, the ram of God, the lamb of God, which is a fire sign. Fire, first. Fire, first. F-I-R, this is etymology. The cerebrum, ram, which is in the brain. Aries, the ram, controls the head, the face, and the nose upwards. So it controls the cerebrum. The Torah, which is, I'm pretty sure it's the Hebrew Bible, which is the Taurus. Tornado comes from the Taurus field. You see? Everything's inside of you. It all goes back to the Taurus field, and the Taurus field is everything. Now, like I said, 12 zodiac signs, 12 systems, 12 cranial nerves in the brain, the 12 disciples of the Bible. All symbolic. Have to read the Bible properly. Now, this center, at the center of the earth, right? This is what's stirring the ether. And the ether consists of the 4 elements. Because there's 5 elements. Spirit can be called ether. People call it spirit or ether. Ether is pure potential, pure energy. It's what connects the astral to the physical. It's the dimension between the physical realm, which we're on, and the astral. So it has pure potential. It's pure energy. This is why we say either. I either want to go there or there. It's connecting 2 scenarios. That's what the ether is. It's connecting the 2 worlds, the astral and the physical. The center is like the cosmic womb. There's a black hole in the center. This is the center of the Taurus field. This is the womb of creation. This is the womb of creation. And inside of this black womb are the 5 elements, and everything's being stirred around. Everything's in motion. Light is motion. Everything's motion. Now, like I said earlier, light crystallizes into physical matter. They are the same substance. Spirit and matter are the same substance, but different variations, different aspects of the same substance. Low vibrational spirit turns into matter. High vibrational matter turns into spirit. Or light, whatever you want to call it. Matter is light crystallized. This is where we get the 7 metals from. The planets are light, specific frequencies and vibration of light. When these lights, or the planets, materialize, material metals materialize, they turn into the 7 metals. Saturn turns into lead. That's why lead is red. Saturn is red. The sun turns into gold. That's why the gold is yellow and the sun is yellow. You see, Saturn is the time god. What happens in autumn? The leaves turn red and they die. This is why Satan, time god, the reaper, everything is crystallized till it's dead and then reborn again. You see? Rust. When things rust, it turns to red. Because it's Saturn. Saturn crystallizes everything. He's the reaper who comes around in winter. You see? He's Satan. Jesus and Satan, the sun and Saturn. They say we live in a solar system. The solar system, I think I've already just broke this down. The 7 planets are the 7 chakras. Everyone already knows this. But I'm going through it anyway. But this is where we get the 7 planets from. And the 7 metals. You see, all the ancients knew it was an enclosed electromagnetic system. It's not a spinning ball in the middle of space, people. They want you to believe this so you get stuck in this material world. Because if you believe everything's material, you can never affect this plane effectively. You can never create your life effectively if you don't understand the planes of existence. Because the mental plane is a higher plane. And it breaks down and it controls the planes below it. The mental plane, hold on, I've got it here for you. The mental, the astral, etheric, then physical. Etheric connects the physical to the astral, but the mental is what's above them all. You see? Now, it's important to understand this. It's important. However, the ancients always talked about the enclosed system. Only NASA, which is introduced around the Roman times, not NASA, but the globe Earth was introduced around the Roman times. Okay? By these Masons. These Masons introduced this because they wanted to take over the minds of the masses and control them. These people worship the physical realm. They know how it works. They know the ins and outs of it. They know how to do the magic. They know how to do it all. They understand it all. That's why Masonry have to take the oath. The oath of not speaking. You're not allowed to speak about anything you learn about in Masonry. Because they're discovering the truth about your mind and how it creates reality and stuff like that. So, this is the Masonic cosmology. The 5-pointed star, the 5 elements. The checkerboard for duality, positive and negative. The 2 aspects of every substance. This is another ancient painting depicting the firmament. The stars inside the firmament, the sun. You see, the ancients worshipped the sun because it's so important for sustaining our life. It's the only reason we're alive is because of the sun. But then people think it gives you cancer today. They brainwash you to think the sun gives you cancer when it's the #1 source of all life. They want you to believe it's a big, spinning, dangerous ball in space. It's not. It's here to give us life. It's God's Son. That's why Jesus is known as God's Son. It is the Son of God. God created that to sustain us. You see? So it's important you understand the true cosmology of where you are. Because if you don't know where you are depleted of all of your morals. You're depleted. You're demoralized. You're lost. You don't know where you are. You don't know where you exist. Okay? Once you accept the globe model, the heliocentric model, you will subconsciously think that you come from nothing. This is why they implemented the evolution theory just after the globe model was introduced by Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin came in after the globe model. He's a Mason, he was another Freemason, and implemented evolution where we came from monkeys, because they want you thinking less of yourself so they can manipulate your mind. You see? They want to manipulate your mind, and they have done since you got here. Since you came through that portal, you were manipulated from that day to believe this, believe that. The true cosmology, the truth will set you free. You will understand things better. You will feel better in yourself when you know the sun is here for you. You'll feel better in yourself that you know that you didn't come from a monkey. You were created as a human, a manifester, a creator. You're so intelligent. Your mind is amazing. You can manipulate matter, mind over matter. See? Thank you all people for tuning in. Tap in with yourself. Love yourself. Find the truth. Spread the truth. Nothing dies. Nothing in this creation dies. Everything's energy. Everything's light. Light can never die. You're a light being. That's why it says Q. Q man. Q is light in Hebrew. Or Latin. Either one of the two. You are light. You're a light being. You never die. Ever, ever, ever die. Ever. Stop thinking you're going to die. This body will die because it contains electricity. And electricity always goes back to a standstill point because of vibration. Electricity vibrates. You are pure light. You will never ever die. Thank you all people. God bless. Make sure to like, subscribe and share.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Welcome people, we're back with another video. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and turn on notifications to never miss a video. The Earth is a giant torus field consisting of a positive and a negative pole. The Sun being the cathode with a positive charge and the Moon being the anode with a negative charge. This is why the Sun rules over the day, giving you lots of energy, and the Moon taking your energy from you, making you go to sleep. Now, the plane that we live on is called the plane of inertia, and at the center of this plane of inertia is the North Pole. This is where the two electromagnetical energies meet. Now, this is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. This is why all compasses will point north, because it's the most magnetic place in this reality. So the Sun and the Moon is spinning around this center point, which is stirring the ether of this reality and making everything move in circles, meaning this is a cycle. Everything's recycling itself. It's an organic simulation. The ancients also knew about this sacred land at the center of this reality, known as the North Pole. As you can see on this map from the 1500s of the North Pole, you can see 4 islands around this center black rock. Ancient civilizations like the Mayans, the Buddhists, and ancient Chinese also depict these 4 islands. The endless symbology of these sacred lands at the center has been going on for thousands of years. These sort of secrets are now kept by the elites, but as always they have to show the truth in plain sight, and this is what they are doing with the Windows symbol and also the Wizard of Oz. Now in the Wizard of Oz, as you can see, there's something called Munchkin Land. Munchkins are these unusually short people. Then on the ancient 1500s map it says pygmy, and then the pygmy people in mythology are also these unusually short people. Just like Santa and his elves, they come from the North Pole, and elves are these unusually short people. These stories that we are told about Santa and Munchkins are putting truth in plain sight about this sacred land. This sacred land at the center of the earth is where the aurora borealis comes from and is being emitted from this black hole in the center, also known as the black sun. The aurora borealis is the earth's aura, hence why it has the word aura inside of it. It is the life-giving essence to all life within this realm. As this dualistic reality we live in consists of both physical and spiritual, the black sun is like our sun for the spirit. It's our spiritual umbilical cord connecting us to the spirit realm. And the rising sun is the opposite. It's our sun for our physical 666 carbon suits, known as our human body, our physical aspect. As it states in the 40,000-year-old emerald tablets, deep in Earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit. The flower of life is as thine own place of spirit, and streams through the earth as thine flows through thy form, giving off life to the earth and its children. So the North Pole is the core of this spiritual reality, and the closer you get to it, the more spiritual and lucid it becomes. So the elites have covered this up in order for us to forget the true nature of this reality. And they did this cover up by introducing the globe model. Nicholas Copernicus was around in the 1400s, and he introduced the globe model. As you can see, he is a Freemason. He depicts himself with a globe and a Masonic compass in all of his paintings and portraits. Galileo was also a Freemason, as you could see in all of his portraits with a globe and a Masonic compass. He was also a massive part of introducing the globe model after Nicholas Copernicus. So yes, the globe model was a spiritual and political move to gain more control over the masses. After the globe model was then introduced, they introduced the theory of evolution by another Freemason, Charles Darwin. See how these two theories go hand in hand? They both degrade humanity, and they make you confused of where we actually came from. By hiding the true form of this divine creation and hiding the true power of each and every one of us, they maintain control over the masses. Now this is order out of chaos, known to be the 33rd degree slogan of Freemasonry. Now this is the Masonic cosmology, and as you can see, you have the checkered board for the duality, the 5-pointed star for the 5 elements, the 4 corners for the 4 pillars, the all-seeing eye, which is Polaris, the sun, the moon, and the 7 stars. So even Freemasons are taught the flat earth cosmology and the true form of this reality. Now the true nature of the sun, the moon, and the earth is shown and reflected through the Masonic compass. The Masonic compass is the sun, the moon, Polaris at the top, and the black sun at the bottom. It makes sense why all the scientists who introduced the globe model all used the compass and the globe together, because it's truth in plain sight. As I explained in my other video, all Freemasons have to take the oath, so it goes to show, why are we all learning these theories from Freemasons who can't talk about certain topics that they learn about? Why should we believe their theories when they're holding back the real truth about this reality? Now going on to NASA. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, and they are also funded by the government. They are not a private company. The old owner of NASA, Werner von Braun, on his grave has the Bible verse Psalms 91. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Now why would the owner of NASA put this on his grave? Seems a bit suspicious to me, alongside with the NASA astronauts are all Freemasons. And not to mention the countless mistakes they've made on their live videos in space stations, the moon landing, and the CGI footage of the Earth, which is obviously photoshopped. Just by tricking the masses that they live on a spinning ball, the elites gain the perception of the masses. Not only does it hide the divine creation we're inside of, it hides the divine spark within you. It hides the creator, the source. And by believing in space and we live on a spinning ball, it makes people come to the interpretation of that we are a coincidence and we do not have any purpose. And of course this is false. When you come to realization that we are all a divine creation and we can create our own divine life in this reality, life becomes more sacred and you start to enjoy little things. The elites want you to believe everything exists only in the 5 senses. They want you constantly looking outside of yourself because they know that will keep you on lower states of consciousness. Now this brings me to our next point. By tricking the masses into the heliocentric model, the elites started to advertise aliens in the movies, in cartoons and magazines in the late 1940s. Now this is subconsciously programming us about aliens and extraterrestrial threats, which then they can use to their advantage. And this is something called Project Bluebeam. They are more than likely going to fake an alien invasion to push this 2040 agenda, which is for one government and one ruling currency. That's it for this video, guys and girls. Hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like and a comment. God bless you all.
What is up, people? How are we all doing? Today we're talking about the flat earth cosmology. So let's jump straight into this. Please drop a follow and leave a like to help the algorithm. So we live in a torus field. Everything's made out of torus fields, and every torus field has motion. It's what it is. It's the motion of energy. And every torus field has a center, which is the black hole. It's a womb of creation. It's counter space. Now this is why the North Pole is magnetic, because the center of this torus field is the most magnetic part, the strongest part of the field. So this is why all compasses will point you to the center. And the Earth's magnetic field is spread across the whole of the Earth. And it's spinning, as you can see here. It's like a tornado at the center. And this tornado is the force which is spinning the sun and the moon around us. You got the sun, the moon, Polaris, just like in the Masonic cosmos here. The sun, the moon, Polaris, the all-seeing eye. Now we'll get into Polaris a bit later, but the sun is the magnetic force. Sorry, is the electric force, because every field is electromagnetic. Now, the sun is electric. It's positively charged. It's gonna give you energy. It's feeding energy. The moon is more magnetic energy, which is taking your energy away from you. And this is why you become sleepy when the moon comes out, because it's taking away your energy. So these two forces is the balance. It's the yin and yang. It's the balance. Everything in this creation is balanced, because the torus field is the Earth is the plane of inertia, the 0 point within the field, because physical matter is a result of two opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia. And that is where matter crystallizes into physical results. And this physical plane is the plane of inertia, planet Earth. And at the center of this plane is the black hole, the womb of creation. And outside of this black hole gives birth to light. So the torus field is constantly rotating, going into counter space, the black hole, and then out of counter space gives birth to the white hole, white light. You see? So it's going around, black hole, birth again, black hole, birth again. And it just keeps going around. It's an infinite cycle of energy. And this is where the infinity sign comes from. This is the motion, this is the force which is creating everything to spin inside of this circle. Okay? And it's making the stars spin. It's making the sun and moon spin around us, around this center point. Now here you see Horus and Set putting their feet inside of this dome. This is the royal arch, the arch of the dome above us, which is like you see in the Masonic cosmos, the royal arch of Freemasonry. This is the dome above us, the firmament that the Bible talks about. You see, they're putting their feet in because Set symbolizes the moon and Horus is the sun. Horizon, Horus. Horus is rising, the sun. So they're both putting their feet around this center magnetic pole, which is the pole, North Pole. And above the North Pole, you have Polaris, the pole of electromagnetic energy. You see? And this is how we get the sun and the seasons. Because the sun, for us, when it becomes summer, it's on the Tropic of Cancer.
then it spirals outwards, going out and out and out, then goes to the Tropic of Capricorn. That's winter for us. Then it comes back in and creates summer again. So it's constantly spiraling around this center magnetic North Pole. You see? So this roof above our heads is the firmament, and this is what they've taken off of us. They haven't physically taken it, but mentally they have taken this away from you. It's a female energy, and this is what the Egyptians called Nut, the sky god Nut. And this is the womb. We are inside God's creation, God's womb, and the woman's womb when she has a baby is a microcosm of this, because everything inside of this creation is macro. It's a reflection of the bigger things, as above, so below. So the dome above our heads is the dome we are in when we are a baby, and you can see the sacred geometry of it is the exact same. It's the dome. And when we are inside of the womb, the woman, the sacred maker, which is the M, the Masonic M, this is the G-male symbol. The Masonic M is maker, mason, matter, male. She delivers the male, you see. She delivers the male because it's the maker, the female, the magnetic. The woman is magnetic in nature, the male is electric in nature. So when we are in this womb, the female, we are being fed by the center umbilical cord, by the center of the mother's stomach. We're connected to the center of the woman's stomach, just like we are when we are in the earth. The center is where the aurora borealis is being emitted from, the electromagnetic aurora borealis, the northern lights. This is our spiritual umbilical cord, connecting us to counter space, connecting us to the realms beyond this world. Because at the center of every Taurus field is counter space. And at the center of the earth is our spiritual umbilical cord, and this is the earth's belly button, as you see. As above, so below. We had a physical umbilical cord, we have a spiritual umbilical cord, and this gets cut when we die, when we're cut away from the physical reality. You see, here's the ancient Egyptian tablet showing this female. You can see the hair, it's a female above us, because the female energy is nurturing, helping, looking after. And that's exactly what the dome is. It's protecting us. It's the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark covering us, you see? And this is what they've taken away from us. By you believing in space, it completely destroys the idea of this being a sacred creation. They've taken the roof off your head, whether if you believe in space, you believe that there's chaos, there's planets, there's asteroids about that could kill us at any moment. But this isn't true. They've made you fear your own creation that you're inside of. They've made you fear what's above you. You see, and it's to hide the power of astrology, the power of the lights in the firmament, which are constantly flowing through the ether. These powers which are above us are sending rays down to the earth, which are influencing our psychology and how we behave. And this is what astrology is. It affects human consciousness. It interacts with our consciousness. And there's a different energy every day because the planets are in different houses, different alignments. And this is, we'll go into this a bit deeper later on. So the world tree, this magnetic North Pole, the pole of electromagnetic energy, was symbolized as a tree. The great tree at the center of the earth. You see? And this tree is symbolized everywhere. You can see here how the center person, this Egyptian person, is holding up the sky. This is the North Pole, the hyperboloid, at the center of every Taurus field. And this tree was in the Mayan cosmology. This is an ancient depiction. This is the Taurus field. There's the plane of inertia. Here's the center tree. Here's the tree in the center, the magnetic North Pole, the woman holding the stars. Here's the Hindu with the two birds symbolizing the sun and the moon revolving around this center tree. The Mayan tree, his Horus and Set around the North Pole. They all knew this flat earth cosmology. They knew these secrets. It's so sacred you understand the creation that you're inside of. Because if you don't, you'll be led astray. You don't know where you are. You're lost. You see? And here's the Masonic art with the rays of the stars coming down with the tree in the center. So it was personified as a tree. And we are in Asgard, Midgard, the middle garden, where there's good and evil. So the 7 layers of heaven, which is talked about in the Quran. Each planet has a different layer of the firmament, and this is the 7 layers of heaven, and these are our 7 layers of the energy centers in our body. So we start in the stars, so we are stars in a physical body. And this is why we say Mr., Sister, Fraudster, Sinister. Stir is star, and we are in the stars, and our star descends into the soul system, not solar system. And as we descend into the soul system, we enter Satan's kingdom, Satan's world. As it says in the Bible, Satan is the god of this world. Well, if you've been into my research for a while, you know Satan is Saturn. Saturn's world, because Saturn's the outermost ring. He's the Lord of the Rings. And you enter his kingdom, the kingdom of time, and this is why Saturn's the time god. As soon as you go past the rings of Saturn, you're now in the soul system, you're now in time, you're now bound by space and time. And you're bound to the earth plane, the heart. Earth is heart. It's a rearrangement, it's an anagram for heart. And the heart of the electromagnetic color spectrum is green, and that's why the earth is green. And above green is blue, and this is why the sky is blue. In order to go to heaven on the macro scale, you have to go through the blue sky, through the 7 layers of heaven. In order to reach heaven in your body, whilst you're here, you have to go through the blue chakra to your head, which is heaven. It's micro, macro. Everything is micro, macro inside of this creation. It's an ancient. I think this is a French image, piece of art from the ancient French, with obviously the 7 layers of heaven, which they all depict. And notice how it's like a dome. We'll go into this dome symbolization, the Royal Arch of Masonry, which is next. But these 7 layers of heaven give us the 7 metals, the 7 days of the week, the 7 diatonic tones, the 7 chakras, the 7 everything. It's God's favorite number. And this is why the Masons use the G inside of the compass, because the G is the 7th letter, and God starts with G. You see? So it's 7. God is 7. Here's another depiction of the heart, the soul system, the 7 layers of heaven. La Fermete. You see, La Firmament, with the stars on the outermost layer. Here are the 7 planets: Jupiter, Mars, La Soleil, the sun, La Luna, the moon. So, Saturn. So we are in the heart of this soul system. In order to ascend, we need to ascend up our chakra system, reach 144,000 hertz, God consciousness, the God man. You have to unfold God man, master of the mind, mastery of the mind. So, what are the stars? The stars make everything unique. The stars are constantly rotating around the center, magnetic North Pole, the tornado at the center, which is stirring everything. It's stirring the ether. The center is the ether, and the 4 elements are born out of this ether. There's 5 elements: ether, spirit, water, air, and earth. The ether gives birth to the 4 other physical elements, which the whole of creation are made out of. About them 4 elements. 4 is the number of stability. You know, a chair, a table has 4 legs. It stables things. It's a foundation, and these 4 elements are the foundation of this creation. You see, and this magnetic North Pole is stirring this, and the 4 vibrational states of the ether are the 4 elements. Now let me get back to the stars. I just wanted to give you that. The stars are being stirred around this center point. Center. It's stirring everything, and they're always in different alignments. Every millisecond, they're moving in different placements of the stars. And the planets are called the 7 wanderers because they're not fixed. The stars are fixed, but the planets are called the 7 wanderers, the 7 layers of heaven, because they move faster and slower than each other. Each planet is slower and faster, has a different rate of speed it's moving. So these alignments are mixing in with the energies of the different 12 constellations. And this is why you have a unique characteristic. You have a unique look, a unique energy, a unique personality. This is because when you were born and you took your first breath, that energy which was in the ether, because the ether is all around you, and energy travels through the ether. The energy that the stars were casting down and the energy that the planets was mixing in with the 12 constellations was in the ether. So when you came out of the womb and your first breath, because breath is spirit, okay, so that first breath you took, that is the energy that is imprinted within your DNA, your soul. And you reflect that energy, you emit that energy. That's the energy that is with you forever. Until you die, until this physical body dies off. And that's what the stars are. The stars are giving a unique energy, characteristic, personality to every living thing. Every dog, every cat, every animal has a unique personality because it was born at a different time and place in the sky. Okay, the stars are your destiny. Now, the stars are constantly changing as well. If you look at stars through a telescope, they're constantly changing and forming different forms. You can see here, it looks like water. It looks like light through water because it's the ether above us, a sea of ether. And this light is being emitted through it, and it's just constantly changing, giving different energies, each star. So this is why this is what the zodiac is. It's the expression of energy. It's the expression of the stars. And each constellation has many different personality, different energies, different traits. Each planet has different traits, depending where your planets are, depending what energies you hold. No two person have the same energy. There's no one. It could be similar, but no one's the exact same. It's because of the stars. The stars are never in the exact same split place. The planets are always in different houses. So here's some royal arch symbolism. Here's the royal arch of masonry. As it says here, the sun and the moon, the constellations. Here's Cancer, the 7 planets, the 7 stars. Here's the royal arch. This is the firmament. Here's the duality. Black and white, duality, good and evil, rest and motion, dielectricity, magnetism. See? So this is what the royal arch is. It's symbolizing the cosmic dome above us. The womb we're in. We're inside God's womb. And here's George Washington, the Freemason, inside of the royal arch. You see? With the G, the Masonic G, God, 7. Here you see another depiction of George Washington with the stars in the dome above his head. His Polaris, the sky vault, Polaris. We'll get into that later. Go inside of all of your ancient churches, you will see the dome. Go to the Vatican, you'll see the dome. All of your ancient churches have this dome because it's the dome above your head. The ancients knew this. This was known. We did not live in space. It was known back then. They all knew. This is Crown Court, which is one of the most important courts in the UK. You can see it's clearly so much Masonic symbolism. You've got the 4 pillars of Masonry. The Royal Arch is like an arrow pointing upwards to Polaris. As the Disney World is under a dome. In his Polaris, the sky vault. You see? And also 666 in the symbol. Here's more 7 layers of heaven. Here's an ancient depiction. The firmament. Here's the astral plane outside of the firmament. The Royal Arch. You see? It's everywhere. Here's Polaris, the 8-pointed star. Polaris is in between the sun and the moon. It's at the center of the Taurus field. And Polaris corresponds with the pineal gland as well because it's the all-seeing eye. See? So, here's Polaris, the 8-pointed star, which is at the very top. It's the very center. It's on top of the North Pole. And it's an 8-pointed star that's always symbolized as an 8-pointed star. Here you see the Vatican. The Vatican is a giant key with an 8-pointed star. See, it's a key. Here's the dome. Here's the space delta, the USA space delta logos. Here you see the Egyptian god looking from the center of the North Pole, looking upward to an 8-pointed star, Polaris. An arrow pointing up to Polaris. Here's another, the bear holding a key with an arrow up to Polaris. 7 holds the key to Polaris. Here's an eagle holding a key above the North Pole to Polaris. Polaris, and here's another one. There's another bird, like a dragon, holding a key to Polaris. Because Polaris is definitely something to do with leaving this creation. Okay, maybe, I can't say for sure, but maybe it's to do with Ascension, and this is why the Vatican hold the key to the 8-pointed star. And this is why the space, well, we all know space is a lie, but they're showing Polaris and its sacred symbology. Maybe it's to do with something leaving this creation, going to another. Here's some North Pole symbolism. As above, so below. You see the four seasons of the Big Dipper constellation going around Polaris. This is Polaris, this is the Big Dipper constellation, and this is the swastika. This image gives us the swastika, because all the symbols we use are created in nature. They're created somehow in nature. This is how we get them. As above, so below. This is the map of the North Pole with the 4 rivers looking like the Big Dipper constellation. It's the Masonic, here's the ancient cosmology with the 4, you see the 4 islands, Mayan cosmology, 4 islands. This is the alchemical symbol for Earth, 4 sections. The windows, because the center of the North Pole is a window to another dimension. The 4 lucky 4-leaf clover, which is supposed to be lucky. It's truth in plain sight. And here's Hitler looking at 2 flat Earth maps. So this swastika has been used for thousands of years, thousands and thousands of years. And it's symbolic for the most sacred land on this plane, the North Pole. Shambala. Do some research on Shambala, people. It's a it's a Hindu mythology about the sacred lands at the center of the earth, and it's known to be full of enlightened beings, and it's all symbolized at the center. You can see their paintings of Shambala. It's all at the center, the North Pole, and it's known to be the most godly place ever, because it takes you to a portal to the higher places. And maybe this is something to do with Polaris, connecting you to this sacred land at the very center. But anyways, people, thank you all for tapping in. Hope you all learned something. Have an amazing day. Please follow, subscribe, like, all the links in the description for the courses, the PDF. Please have an amazing day. God bless. Hello and welcome to another video, people. Before we start, please like, comment and subscribe if you wish to see more content. Today we're going to be talking about the mental universe and how everything is mental. This is the #1 law on the Kabbalion. If you've never read that book, it's called The Kabbalion. A very good book. It's the first law, because this is the most important thing you need to understand. Is how everything exists within the mind. Behind every single one of these eyes is the same consciousness expressed in different bodies. The mind is what gives perception to what you're experiencing. Behind every single one of these eyes is the exact same consciousness, but the brain that they inhabit is giving them a different perception, a different being, a different body. Now, this is the difference between humans and animals. Humans possess a advanced consciousness, an advanced mind that gives us the ability to be aware of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. We can reflect on ourselves. When a dog looks in the mirror or an animal looks in the mirror, it doesn't know what it's looking at. It doesn't realize it has a consciousness. It can't reflect on itself. It can't say, I want to improve in this area. It doesn't have that consciousness. We have a divine consciousness. Take away the N for divine, and you get with a D, put it with a D, you get divide, because we have a divided two-way consciousness. An animal only has one. However, it's still the same mind. We're all mind. We're all mental. We all exist within the mental plane. Look at this person walking. The body, the brain, is sending electrical signals through the 12 cranial nerves, which the 12 disciples that spread the gospel of Jesus, right? You have 12 cranial nerves in your brain. There are 12 disciples which spread the gospel of Jesus. Jesus represents the mind, the intelligence, the invisible intelligence that we all are, the same intelligence, the same exact consciousness, which then sends a command into the brain. Then the brain sends these 12 electrical signals through the 12 cranial nerves to control the rest of the body through the nervous system. This person walking is not, the body is not walking. The mind is telling it to walk. And the brain is it's a supercomputer which is decoding these demands given to it by the mind. Because the pineal gland will have something to do with the ether, because the ether is physical and non-physical. The mind is sending the commands through the ether to the pineal gland, which is then getting broken down into electrical codes within the brain and sent throughout the nervous system to control the body. And this is why in the Sims simulation, because the body's the simulation, it's a false reality, it's the fake reality, it's not the real you. You are formless. There is no form. But the third dimension is a dimension within your mind. Matter, mind, light is all a product of your mind. It's all in the mind. Now, this is why The Sims has this green little diamond on top of the head. Because this is you. This is your invisible intelligence controlling the character. Okay, it's controlling the character, and this character is in the world. Your consciousness isn't in the world. The world exists within you, but the body is a vehicle for that realm that you land in. When you have a dream, your mind transcends this body into another body, duplicates your body into another universe, unite. Unite is one. We're all one. It's all one universe, expressed in many different ways, infinitely. And the vehicle that you land in is the body to operate in that realm. This is the all-seeing eye, as you see here. The eye, this is all the intelligence. This is the ball of consciousness, God, expressed in different bodies. We're all this same one in different bodies, as you can see here. And this intelligence is expressing infinitely throughout the universe. An infinite universe. There's no beginning, no end. There was no beginning of the universe. There is no end. It's infinite. Always has and always will. But the mind is what is what gives you the ability to explore the universe, to make perception of it. We are God in disguise. We are God in disguise. We are God in flesh. But the body can become attached to the mind, can become attached to the body if the mind is not aware of itself. When the mind is that blinded by matter, and we lack knowledge and understanding of what we truly are, a formless, infinite being, a traveler. This is why Freemasons are called Freemasons. Mason means traveler, free. You're a free traveler because your consciousness is a traveler of the universe. When we lack understanding, our mind bounds to the body because we don't separate the body with our different layers of consciousness. When we separate them and identify that we are mind, body, emotion, you then can apply this knowledge to when you want to astral travel and explore the different realms of your mind, because the mind is the universe. People, this is what we need to understand. The mind is the universe. I am you and you are me. This is the Egyptians showing you this. The Ankh is the symbol of life. This is the one ball of consciousness, mind, giving it the Ankh life to all the different life forms. The cows, the birds, the snakes, and the big Ankh given to the humans, because the humans are the most intelligent. We have the most advanced consciousness. We have the most advanced consciousness. This is why the one is giving a big Ankh to the humans here. Here you see again, this is not the sun. This is also showing Ankh giving out its life to all things infinitely. And this is the Most High. We are the Most High in disguise. When we strip off the body, we strip off the desires for the physical world, we strip off all these fake identities that the mind gets attached to. That is God. The universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. I and I. The letter I and the number 1 is just one line. The letter I is the number 1. Because your I am, when you refer to yourself as I, every single one of you who's watching this video refers to yourself as I, which is the one. We are all the one. We are all intelligence. We are all invisible. We are all the one. 1 is the only number. 1, 2, 3. Everything goes up in ones because there is only one. Doesn't matter how far you go down the line with numbers, all of their numbers are created by 1 because there is only one. It's me and you are the exact same consciousness expressed in different bodies. Mind. Cause. There is only one cause. There is only one mind. There is only one being. But because we lack understanding of this, we think we are the bodies. And this causes division, because the physical world is the most illusionary world. It's an illusion. It's all an illusion. Now you see with the two, you look with the two eyes, but you see with the inner eye, the mind. Okay, the mind is The mental plane is a shared plane, and it gives perception to what you're looking at. The mind. I'm affecting you when I speak, because the mental plane is shared. We all share mind. We all express mind. When I'm speaking to you, I'm affecting you because we are mind. So the words that I'm saying, which are being manifested from my mind, are being manifested through my body into vibration, is affecting you. I'm affecting you with what I'm saying. And these words are having an effect on your mind, because we're all mind. This is why you need to be careful what you're listening to, music and all sorts. Because music can also create thought loops within your mind. Because the chorus, we shouldn't be listening to choruses. Choruses are loops. And what they're saying in the chorus is being looped. And this can create thought loops within your mind. Go and listen to an old song that you used to listen to about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. Go and listen to an old song, and you guess what? You will get nostalgia. Why will you get nostalgia? Because that song will trigger the thoughts that you were thinking in that time of listening to that song. So songs with choruses create thought loops, and they reprogram your subconscious mind. It's important why music is very powerful. Mine and mind, same word. See, language is the truth, people. This is why I use language in all of my presentations, especially the English language. It's riddled with occult truth. I is my me. I, you, and me, or I, one. We are not the name, we are I. Every single one of you is I, because we are all the one. All mind. Now, the only thing that is truly mine is my mind. When you say something is mine, it's an illusion. It's not yours. The only thing that is mine is mind. My mind. Okay? It's my mind. It's the only thing. It's the same word, mind and mind. Like I said before, everything's one. Hot and cold is different degrees of the same thing, of the one substance, of degrees. The 7 colors are different frequencies of the one white light. Everything is one. There is only one. We are all one. Everything is one. Hot, cold, day, night. It's the same degree of one, which is mind. The mind's perception is what's giving it, labeling it hot or cold. The mind's perception of colors is what is giving it red or purple, hot or cold. There is only mind. The mind gives things perception. There is only one, that is mind. The conscious and the subconscious mind. The male and the female, these are married. The subconscious mind is your hidden part of the mind. Okay, it's hidden. You can access it through different meditations and Reiki teachings. And dreams are manifestations of your subconscious. This is how you know mind and matter are one, because your mind creates matter in dreams. Your subconscious manifests everything in a dream, in the astral realms. The conscious is what you're conscious of, what you're consciously thinking of. So me, I am conscious that I am speaking into this mic and creating this video. My subconscious mind is the hidden part of the mind, which is speaking to my heart, telling it to beat. It's telling my food to digest. It's regulating all my blood. It's doing everything in my body without me being conscious of it. Without me being conscious. The subconscious is the feminine, the conscious is the male. The Bible, of course, Proverbs 12:4, helpful not, helpful, an excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who brings shame is like rottenness in his bones. In the same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself. You can take that physically, you can take that literally, or you can take it metaphysically. See, the Bible's written in such a way where you can take it as your level of realization. He who loves his wife loves himself. If you love your subconscious, if you love yourself, you speak good about yourself, because your subconscious takes everything literally. If you say, I hate you to someone, the subconscious does not know the difference between me and someone else. It only thinks me, me, me. Why? Because mind is the only thing that exists. You are mind, I am mind. If I say, I hate you, you're saying that to yourself. Your subconscious picks that up and says, I hate myself. And that's telling your subconscious that's what you want. Because your subconscious manifests 90% of your behavior. The programs within your subconscious, tying your shoelace is a program. You don't need to be conscious of it. You can just do it because it's a program. It's deeply interwoven in the subconscious. Driving your car, texting on your phone, you don't have to think about what letter. You just do it because you know where the letters are. It's a program. Therefore, if you look after your subconscious, they are a married couple. It's your wife. Your subconscious is your wife. And it manifests 90% of your daily basis thought patterns, actions, behaviors, emotions, all the things that you all the trauma that you've experienced is stored within your subconscious, which is affecting you. So let's say you were in a car crash 10 years ago and you had a really traumatic event, you really hurt yourself, and you had a very, very, very strong emotion that you felt of pain. That will still affect you today. And why? Because it will manifest into your behavior. How? Well, you'll be cautious of what cars to go in and who. You'll be cautious because of that event that stored within your subconscious, because of that feeling you felt was so painful and so strong. It's still manifesting into your behavior today. For example, you won't go in certain cars, you won't go with certain drivers. The subconscious stores everything, all your memories, the programs and everything. So if you trick your subconscious, that's how you manifest your life. If you trick the subconscious, you already have something. And therefore it will manifest into your life and into your behavior, thoughts and actions. This is why the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated. Because I am you and you are me. We are all subconscious. We all have subconscious. Whatever I do to you, I do to me. Because my subconscious picks that up and thinks I'm speaking to me. Mind is very powerful. Whatever I do to you, I do to me. Treat others like you want to be treated. The golden rule. That is the only rule we need in this realm, in the universe. If everyone understood this rule and how the subconscious works and how karma works, we'd live in heaven on earth, the Garden of Eden, the Golden Age. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Where your heart is, there will be your treasure. Your heart's the emotions. This is the storehouse of emotions. It is where you feel emotions. You have to let your emotions move through you, not become you. You can't let your emotions become you. But except be like the sky and let them pass through you. Be like the clouds and the stars passing over. Let them pass through you. Do not let them become you. And this is how emotions can take over your mind. We are driven by, when a man is driven by emotions, he has no self to control. You must control the mind, because the mind can be corrupted. Because your thoughts are electrical in the brain. Your thoughts come from the mental plane. So how the mind works is that you place your attentions on something in the mind, and infinite information just flows in. Think about it. When you think of a certain topic, as soon as you think of that topic, information comes flying into your mind. Different ideas, ping, ping, ping. It's all connected. It's why we call it a mindset, because your mind sets itself to frequencies. And when we think of something, we tap into that frequency, and just the universe, the mind, the mental plane just flows in information based on that frequency and that thought. The universe is just information. All of the information out there, nothing is new. It's all there. You just have to tap into it. You can tap into these different thoughts, and it's all there. Everything already exists within the mental plane. You don't think anything. You receive thoughts. We all share the mental plane. We affect each other. I'm affecting you. Speaking, listening to me is affecting your mental plane, your mind. The physical plane is the lowest plane. It's the world of effect. Everything you see in the physical plane is the effect of mind. Like I said, the person walking is the effect of their mind telling the body to walk. The physical plane is the lowest dimension of your mind. Mother Earth, we are in a mother. We're in the womb still. The Earth is feminine. It looks after you. It provides you with food for free. It grows on trees, with water. It's Mother Earth. It's the womb. The dome above your head is your mother's belly. Okay? Is your mother's belly. You're in the womb still. You're forever in the womb, because your mind's constantly expanding. Because when the baby's mind figures out that there is a reality outside of its mother, it starts to hear the people on outside of its mother, what does it do? It figures a way out of the mother, and it becomes born again in the water, in a hospital, into the other world. It's the same with our minds. When our minds figure out there is other worlds beyond this physical, we explore them. The astral plane, for example. You figure a way out of the body. Because when you're the firmament, look at the word firmament, meant at the end. Firm is firm, something strong, something like a rock is firm. If your mind is firm like a rock, you will be stuck under the firmament. So, for example, people who are very programmed and can't think outside the box, they have a firm mind, and they'll be stuck under the firmament, because your mind is the only thing that's keeping you under the firmament. It's the only thing. When you're doomed, doom is dome. This is the dome, which is your head. Your head is the dome. Above your head, above the earth, is the dome, the ethereal barrier. But that's just an external manifestation of your head. You don't leave the earth, you leave your body to leave the earth, because your body is the earth. It's a dimension within your mind. So when you're doomed, you're domed. Your reality is your level of realization. You realize something, or when you have an idea, I the mind, I and the I, EYE or I, same thing, mind, it's all mind. Reality is your level of realization. You realize there's other worlds, that's your reality. Your perception's your reality. Mind in Latin is mens. Jesus was known as the fisher of men, which is the fisher of minds. He was fishing minds worthy of knowing the higher truth, the deeper occult knowledge. Jesus figured out that we are all God. And he got killed for it, because in that age they were trying to suppress this information. Jesus figured out he was God, because we are all God, every single one of you, and they killed him. Because we're all mind. We are not the body. We're the invisible intelligence, which is God. But you are not God if your mind is attached to this physical world, to the worldly pleasures. If you master your mind and travel the depths of your mind, that is God. Mental and men. Look at the word mental. It has men in it. Men in the Bible means mind. Here you see Masonic. The Masonic symbol with the eye, the mind. Looking over, everything is the one. Everything comes from the one. Look at all the lines coming off it, giving its life to all of the life forms. Down here on the bottom you have duality, black and white. Up here you have singularity, one and the two, unification and division. The lower self is divided into the left and the right. So the Bible even says, I forgot what verse it is, but it says, it's better to go through life with one eye than to have two and be cast into the fiery abyss of hell. I'm not sure what verse it is, but you can research it yourself. It's better to go through life with one eye, to be unified. Unified consciousness. Dimension. No-brainer. No-brainer. The language tells you the truth, people. Dimension. The dimensions are in your mind. Entertainment. Entertain the mind. Disappointment. It's all in the mind. Environment. The environment that you are in is a product of your mind. Within, rearranged spells high twinned. Within is your mind, and your external world is mirrored from the decisions you make in your mind. Advertisement, commitment, it's all meant, it's all mind, everything is mind. Everything. So, this is important. The collective thoughts and collective beliefs. The collective, because we all share the mental plane. And because of this is why we are in a weakened state of consciousness at the moment. Because the collective thoughts and the collective minds overall are asleep. And they don't believe in anything. You see, everything is true within the mind. You think of something, it is there instantly. You think of a chair, it's there in your mind. You think of anything, it's there instantly. So everything's true within the mind. Anything can happen in the mind. Anything can happen on the physical plane if the collective consciousness, the collective minds, believe it to be true. This is why back in the days, in the ancient days, you look at all the old world stuff, you see all this crazy technology, and it's because as a collective, as humanity back then, they believed that they had much more open minds. Therefore, the things manifested in the physical world
We're a lot more out of the box, so to say, compared to today. For example, magic is not as powerful today because the masses don't believe in it. It's still powerful, don't get me wrong, but if the masses believed, or if everyone knew magic could be real, because it is, anything's real in the mind, it would be a lot more powerful. You see? So and what they're trying to do is create a hive mind worldwide. They're trying to make one religion, an external god. What happens when you worship something external? You give energy to it, because where attention goes, energy flows. Where your mind gives attention to, energy goes there. And when we all believe in external gods and give our worship and our power to these external things, we all give energy to it, which will manifest as a demon in the astral planes. It's a hive mind. They're trying to make a hive mind to summon our energy. Trying to summon our energy. And it through mind, through collective thoughts. The hive mind. They want one religion, one government, one currency, one belief system. And that will create a hive mind, which will limit our consciousness, which will limit what we can do in the physical world. Because if everyone doesn't believe in certain things, it cannot happen, because it's all in mind. Mind is so powerful. I am you and you are me. I hope you all enjoyed this video, people. If you haven't already, join the Wisdom Academy. The Wisdom Academy, we have many occult lectures just like this one. Also, we have just launched Mindwave Hub. If you want genuine frequencies, genuine binaural beats, because the ones on YouTube, the ones on Spotify, Apple Music, they're all tuned to A440 hertz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. If you want to gain access to your true consciousness, your mind, you need to balance the two hemispheres and balance the chakras. You can do that externally by listening to binaural beats. If you want true frequencies, true binaural beats to hemisync the chakras, hemisync the brain, to gain access to the different dimensions of your mind, well, you can gain access anyway, but it's going to help you if you're trying to learn this. Join Mindwave Hub. The link will be in the description. Listen to the binaural beats, meditate to them, listen to when you go to sleep. They'll massively benefit you. Thank you all, people. Hope you had an amazing, lesson. Hope you learned a lot. And please subscribe. God bless you all.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Welcome people, we're back with another video. Please make sure to hit the like, the subscribe button, and turn on notifications to never miss a video. The Vatican is a giant key from a bird's eye view, and it also contains an 8-pointed star. The Anunnaki Sumerian gods also depicted this 8-pointed star. The sky god Anu from the Anunnaki also uses the 8-pointed star for his symbol. And even Freemasons depict an 8-pointed luminary with a ladder and a key. This is symbolizing the key to ascension up to the 8-pointed star, which is Polaris. Polaris is always depicted as an 8-pointed star. Polaris is the standstill star at the very center of our realm, which is perfectly aligned with the North Pole. The Earth is a giant torus field, and at the center is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. This is why all compasses point to the north. Hence why a compass is an 8-pointed star, because it points you to Polaris, which is the North Pole, the center of this realm. The 8 points of the 8-pointed star symbolize the 8 points in space and time. So yes, Polaris is the portal which you ascend through if you outgrow this consciousness by aligning your chakras. Our earthly realm is a macrocosmic reflection of us, and we as humans are the micro reflection, with the earth containing its 7 chakras as well as us. The North Pole is the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra. So the key to Ascension is held by the Vatican, hence why it's a giant key, because they mislead the masses through their religions, which teaches the masses to look outside of themselves. As stated in the 20,000-year-old emerald tablets, written by the Egyptian god Thoth. On earth, man is in bondage, bound by space and time to the earth plane. Encircling each planet, a wave of vibration binds him to his plane of unfoldment. Yet within man is the key to releasement. Within man may freedom be found. So the 7 planets are associated with each 7 chakras. The lowest chakra being the root chakra, which is associated with Saturn. This is why the elites love Saturn and reflect it in all of their symbols, because the chakras are an ascension of spiritual principles, starting from the material and ascending up to the spiritual, the crown chakra. However, evil love bondage, and they are trapping souls in the physical realm by stopping and provoking the ascension process. They do this by abusing the energy of Saturn, and Saturn is associated with the lowest chakra. The lower 3 chakras are associated with survival mode, which keeps the consciousness in a constant state of fear and only aware of its surroundings. Once you start to ascend up your chakras, you become more consciously aware of spiritual deeds. And this is the process of returning back to your true spiritual form. Going back to Polaris and its connection to Ascension, Kanye West symbolizes this on his music video 24. As you see him rise up into the sky, you see an 8-pointed shape around him, which symbolizes the 8-pointed star, as you see the beam of light. And even NASA symbolize this in their Space Delta logos, a bear holding a key with an arrow up to Polaris, the 8-pointed star. Here's another NASA logo of an arrow from the Earth to Polaris. The series Lock and Key on Netflix is all about portals and doorways, and they have the Kundalini energy as one of their keys. Kundalini energy is the energy which rises up the spine, the 33 vertebrae, and activates the third eye. The third eye is the spiritual gland which connects humans to other spiritual realms. We are not the body. Our spirit, our soul inhabits the body. We exist physically, spiritually, and mentally. Therefore, we are multidimensional. The intellectual and spiritual inhabit the body. Therefore, this is just an avatar within this timeline. However, within each and every one of us, we all have the key to releasement, as says in the Emerald Tablets. This releasement is Ascension, up until higher states of consciousness. As stated in the Emerald Tablets, man is in process of changing to forms that are not of this world. Grows he in time to the formless, a plane on a cycle above, and another one saying, man is a flame bound to a mountain, but we in our cycle shall ever be free. Know ye, O man, that when ye have progressed into the cycle that lengthen above, Life itself will pass to the darkness, and only the essence of the soul shall remain. That's it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and comment any subjects you want me to talk about. God bless you all.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Today, we're going to be talking about portals, portal symbolism, what portals are, okay, and how they show them to us, because they have to tell you the truth, guys. This is the thing with the universal law. They have to tell you the truth, and they tell you through symbols, they tell you through movies, different things like that. But let's jump straight into this. So first I want to talk about the Freemasonry symbols. Okay, so first we got, obviously this is some Freemasonry art, but notice how you've got the ladder with a key. Okay, so this is ladder symbolism with a key. So maybe this is talking about ascending. Okay, because look, because this is ascending into the heavens, because it's a ladder with humans going up it with a key. In order to ascend, you must have a key. Okay, so what else do we have with a key? Well, the Netflix show Lock and Key, which is all about portals and keys, because what the keys do, they open doors, gateways. Okay, so what's interesting about this is that they've got this key here, which represents the Kundalini energy rising up the spine. Okay, but we'll come back to this. But it's that same portal key symbolism. We've also got the Vatican. The Vatican is in the shape of a key. Okay, so you can see the start of it here and the end. So this is key symbolisms. Keys open doors. And notice how it's got the 8-pointed star. Okay, what is the 8-pointed star? Okay, we'll come back to this. This all ties in, guys. I'll break it all down for you. But then you've also got the god Janus. Janus, okay, is known as the god of the doorways. He's an ancient god of Rome, and they worshipped him. However, he's not a god, he's more like a high-level ranked demon. He is the god of the doorways. And notice how he's got two faces, because doorways always have two sides. You're going into somewhere, there's always two sides of a door, and he's always depicted with two sides of a face and a key, because he holds the key to the doorways, to the portals, to other worlds and realms. Okay, as you can see, he's always got two faces and a key. Okay, so now we have the Sumerians, the Anunnaki, and they are always depicted with the two faces. Why do they have the two faces? Because they're symbolizing doorways, and the Anunnaki come to Earth through doorways and portals. So these are what these gods are symbolizing in their artwork. But they always have the 8-pointed star. Okay, what is the 8-pointed star? You see how they always have, look, let me try to find another one. It's the 8-pointed star. This 8-pointed star is Polaris. Okay, Polaris, just like the Vatican has the 8-pointed star with a key. Polaris is the center star. Polaris is a fixed star, it doesn't move.
Okay, so the Anunnaki symbol is also the 8-pointed star. So this is symbolizing the portals and doorways that they come through in order to get to the earth. But Polaris is that center star which does not move. It's always symbolized with the 8-pointed star, just like a compass. Why is a compass the 8-pointed star? Because at the center of our realm is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. As you can see, we have an aura field, an electromagnetic aura field. So does the earth. And in the center, so like our heart, for example, is where the most energy is stored. And like the center of the earth, this is why all compasses point to the center, because this is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. It's at the center of our realm. Okay. So like I was saying with the lock and key series, see this here? The Kundalini energy rising up the spine, just like your Kundalini energy rising up the spine. Let me try. I can't zoom in. But you know what I'm trying to say here. Let's go back to Polaris. Because at the center is where hold. Can you see the pole of electromagnetic energy? Polaris, the North Pole. It's symbolized. The truth is in the words. It's like a pole of electromagnetic energy. And this is where the aurora borealis comes from. Notice how it's got the word aura in it, because it's the Earth's aura, electromagnetic field. Just like you have an aura, also known as the northern lights, because it's coming out of this center hole in the center of our realm, where the black sun is. And this is where the electromagnetic energy is coming up from. And this is what the aurora borealis is, or the northern lights. It's just electromagnetic energy. And it's symbolized through our symbols. The original O. Okay, because it's like a pole through the middle. Polaris. So this Polaris is the sky vault. It's the portal into this realm. Because this is what the Anunnaki are always talking about. Always symbolizing with the 8-pointed star. And just like a compass is the 8-pointed star, pointed to the center, to Polaris. Okay. See here on the Sumerian tablets with the 8-pointed star again. And how we know it's talking about portals with this 8-pointed star is because CERN 666 are opening up portals to the underworld, letting in demonic entities into this realm. How do we know it's a portal? Because their Hydro Collider has 8 points, just like the 8-pointed star. So they are creating synthetic portals to the underworld to let these demonic entities into our realm. But what is the key? Because if we're talking about ascending through Polaris, notice how here on the masonry art, this luminary here, so this is the sun, that's the moon, this is Polaris, because it's a luminary with what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beams coming off the luminary, just like the 8-pointed star. So you see the ladder with the key going up to Polaris. It's symbolizing ascending out of Earth. So what is this key that they're keeping from us? Because it's a human holding a key going up the ladder to Polaris. Well,
chakras. We have 7 chakras. Okay, so this is what they are telling us in the lock and key symbolism. The Kundalini energy rising up the spine. Okay, just like they have 33 vertebrae on the back of your spine. Okay, this represents the Kundalini energy going up your 33 vertebrae, just like in Masonry has 33rd degrees. Okay, so what is the key? Your chakras. Your chakras have to be unlocked. Okay, you have to unlock your chakras, and you can't unlock this one without going through this one. You have to go through them all. It's like a ladder, just like Jacob's ladder. You can't go from the bottom to the top. You have to unlock each one. Okay, just like you have 7 chakras, you have 7 layers of your aura. Okay, you have to unlock your chakras to the highest point in order to reach Christ consciousness. And this is the key that they're talking about. They're symbolizing the organic portal within each and every one of us to ascend out of this realm. Okay, so this is the key that they're talking about, and they're holding back this knowledge to keep us trapped in this 3D realm. Okay, so like I was saying with the 33 vertebrae and the Kundalini energy coming up the spine, 33 vertebrae, you can see this sort of symbolism going up to the light, because it's the light. You see here, your crown chakra turns on and becomes enlightened, just like the Illuminati symbol. Can you see it? Also, Jesus also died at 33. So this is symbolizing, okay, they're symbolizing the death of the ego, the body. So once you open up your chakras and reach Christ consciousness, which is your 33rd vertebrae, once your Kundalini energy goes up your 33rd vertebrae, your body technically, not physically, but spiritually dies, because you then become formless. You reach Christ consciousness. So then you can travel other worlds. Okay. This is what they're talking about with Vatican, 8-pointed star, and the key. Janus with the key. The Sumerians with the 8-pointed star. Anunaki, the 8-pointed star. Polaris, 8-pointed star. So Polaris is the way out of this realm, which is at the center. Pole, North Pole. Okay, so the key is that they're hiding from us is the knowledge to unlock our chakras. Okay, and without this knowledge that they keep from us is trapping our souls in this reality to keep reincarnating. Okay, well, thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to leave you all there. Make sure to leave a like and a comment in the comment section. Let me know some topics to talk about so I can break it down for you. God bless you all.
What is good, people? How are we all doing? Today we're going to be talking about the different planes of existence, the occult side of the world, the things they don't teach you in school. And of course, you can only find that on this channel, so welcome. So you need to understand is that your consciousness moves through these different planes of existence, these different states of consciousness.
which make up all of you. Okay? They are all interlocked planes. They are all interpenetrated into each other. They are all one. They melt into the plane above and below. You see? Each plane is a product of each plane. As above, so below. Now, the higher you go, the more fluid, the more dreamy, the less dense it becomes. The lower you go, the more denser it becomes, the more solid it becomes. The lowest plane is the physical plane, which you are obviously aware of. You are inside of the physical plane now. But while you are in this inside of this physical plane, you are indeed inside of all these other bodies which you have not awakened yet. You have to awaken these different bodies. You have these bodies. Okay? It's like a ripple effect. And the center is the most dense, the most solid. This is Earth, heart, the heart of the ripple. And the lower you, the further you go out from the center, the more dreamy, the less fluid, the more fluid, the more less dense it gets until you're one with the all. You see? And this is what it's like. This is what this system is. It's like a ripple effect. Now, let's jump straight into the planes. First, you have the physical plane, made out of 4 elements. 5 elements. The ether is the mother of the elements. It's the womb of the elements. It's the 5th element. And it gives birth to the 4 other elements. 4 is stability. Tables have 4 legs, and this is why the ether gives birth to 4, because it's the foundation of the physical world. Fire, earth, water, air. They are not pure. Each one of the elements melts into the other one. For example, earth and water both share cold. Water and air both share wet. You see, they compose of each other. They melt, they mold into each other based off the vibrational state of the ether. That's what it is. The 4 elements are the vibrational states of the ether. Okay? So you have the 4 physical elements making this, physical world. It's the lowest world. It's the world of effect. This world, whatever you see, whatever you experience, it's the effect. You can't change anything by manipulating this world. You got to manipulate the higher worlds to affect this world, you see? As above, so below. This is the lowest plane. It has 3-dimensional. It's the 3rd dimension. Space, height, and thickness. That's all it is. Front, backwards, upwards. You see, it's 3-dimensional. We cannot perceive the hidden side, which is the interior of this existence. We cannot perceive the interior from our exterior view. We are looking into this world. Okay? This is the exterior view. We can't see what's inside of that. That's the 4th dimension, which is the next one. It's the most gross and dense plane. 4 states of matter, the most slowest vibrational molecules, exist in this plane. Above this plane, you have the ether. Okay? The word ether and either are the same thing, because either connects 2 scenarios in languages. I either support Manchester United or Liverpool. Either is connecting them 2 scenarios. The ether is doing the exact same, as you can see here on the planes of existence. It connects the astral world, which is very important, to the physical world. It's connecting these 2 worlds. So it's the ether. It's the ether. The ether is pure potential. Energy flows through the ether. It is pure energy, pure potential. Okay? The physical body is an exact copy of the etheric counterpart body. So every physical object has an etheric energy double. It's like a blueprint of that object. Every single object has an energy double, and that's the etheric double. Okay? The etheric body determines the shape of our physical body through its lines of force. All through life, it rebuilds and restores the physical body. Physical problems show up first in the etheric body, because as above, so below. You manipulate the higher planes, it will manipulate this plane. And this is why sorcery works. Contact with astral plane entities. We'll get into that a bit later. So, the reason why we can't see this plane, this energy world, which is all around us, which we are inside of right now as we speak, is that the molecules that compose it are further apart than those of the physical plane, making it invisible to the 2 eyes. that we can't perceive it. Our eyes cannot physically suck in that sort of information, and our brain cannot decode it. This is why, they brainwash us with all these programs to keep us asleep, to keep these other bodies we have asleep, so we don't find out about these other bodies, and it's to make you believe that everything's just a material. Only the material world exists. They don't want you to know is that everything that you see is a result of something you cannot see. As above, so below. There are realities within this reality. This is what I'm breaking down now, these different planes, on how this reality works. So your etheric double is your energy body. You can see here the physical, etheric, astral. Astral is your spirit. The ether is a part of the physical plane. It's like just above the physical plane, but it's still part. But then the astral plane is completely separate. It's another plane, but they're all interlocked. Don't think they're apart. They're all interlocked. They're all one. They all melt into each other. The chakras that we have are inside of our etheric body. They are our sense of organs which tune us to the fourth dimension. These 7 chakras connect us to the astral world, the fourth dimension. Okay? They are points for the flow of energy from the universe / 7 planets, because the 7 chakras are your 7 planets, and the 7 planets are connected to the astral world. They are feeding these 7 senses in our body. They connect us to the universe, to our etheric counterpart, and then to us, supplying the physical body. Because the energy comes from above. As above, so below. These 7 senses, these 7 etheric chakras, are being supplied with energy from the universe, the 7 planets, the solar system. Then it supplies the physical body. You see? So, the ether is very important. And this is, that the ancients understood the science of the ether, and they could, harness free electricity from it, because it's all around us. The ether is all around us. And this is what they were doing. They were harnessing free energy using the ether. The astral plane, the fourth dimension, very important plane. Very, very important. We've all been there. Every single one of you has been there. Okay? The fourth dimension is unseen of what we see. It's the interior of the exterior that we see. We see the third dimension, but we cannot see beyond what's making this third dimension. This is the fourth dimension. Okay? It's the dream world. This is where you go when you dream. Okay? This is where you go when you dream. It's the place of disembodied spirits or ghosts, entities, whatever you want to call them. When you hear ringing in your ears, that is not tinnitus. That is an entity around you. Okay? That is an entity around you. The fourth dimension is where thought forms exist. Mental images. Thought forms as in what you see in your mind when you think of an image, because the mind is the highest plane of existence. Mind is the highest plane of existence. And it manipulates all of the planes below. So it goes the mental plane, then the astral plane. So the thought is in the mind, the mental plane. That just the thought alone, no image, but then the form depiction, the thought form exists. It manifests in the astral plane as a sort of image, an entity, a living conscious being. So this is why thoughts are things. You see, thought forms exist within the fourth dimension. So when you imagine something, when you are, for example, right now, look into your hand and imagine there's an apple in your hand. If you can see that, you are seeing into this fourth dimension. You can only see into this fourth dimension using the mind's eye, not the 2 eyes, the mind's eye. When you shut off the 2 eyes into darkness, the third eye opens. The mind's eye is open, and you can see, this is astral travel. You got to work on astral travel, and you will see this astral plane, this fourth dimension. And there are 3 different sections to this astral plane: higher, middle, or lower. So yes, there is a kind of a heaven and hell, and a mid-God. Heaven being the higher vibrational entities manifesting higher vibrational thought forms existing there, the lower vibrational thought forms existing in the astral plane. But these thought forms are beings. You can create these beings. They're called elementals. Okay? If you entertain specific thoughts for long enough, this will plant a seed and it will grow. If you keep, so for example, you have a bad feeling or whatever, what's a good example? Unforgiving someone. You keep that energy inside of you for long enough, it will manifest in the fourth dimension. You entertain that thought long enough, it will manifest. And it will create an etheric body, and it will be an entity which will harm you. It will feed off you. This low vibrational energy. Your mind is so powerful. It creates thought forms, and these thought forms can take consciousness, can take bodies, etheric bodies. Now, that's why it's very important that you master your mind, master your thought patterns. So this fourth dimension is the astral world. So when you have a nightmare, this is the lower astral plane. You're in the lower astral plane. Whilst this physical body rests at night, your consciousness, you awaken this other body, your consciousness goes inside of this other body, whilst the physical body lays asleep. You see? So it's all inside of you. This is what you need to understand. You just haven't awakened these bodies yet. You can awaken them. You just got to awaken them. Okay? The next is the mental plane. This is the mind, the source, pure cause, pure motion, the most less dense, the most fluid. No form. There's no form to the mind. Astral plane is the first plane where a form takes existence, pretty much. The mental world has no form. It's pure mind, pure intelligence. Thoughts alone exist here without any images or manifestation. The most fluid, the most dreamy, the most causal plane. All of the rest take the effects of this plane. That's why it's mind over matter. Your thoughts they create vibrations. Each vibration is vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates mental images, creates effects down here on this physical plane. This is why it's so important to master your mind, master what you think, master your mind. It's the hardest thing to master. You could conquer the world, but it's probably harder to conquer your own mind than to conquer the whole world. I can promise you that, because the mind can play tricks on you. You got to listen to that inner guide within you that will constantly manifest the good things. So anyways, people, hope you learned a lot from this. Please work on trying to activate these other bodies. I will maybe do another video on trying to activate these bodies if you wish. Please comment down below if you would like to see that. And have an amazing day. Please like, subscribe, comment down below any video ideas you want me to do, any information you want me to spit. Thank you all. Have an amazing day. How are we all doing today, people? It's Revival of Wisdom, and today we're going to get real deep. This video is going to get real deep. A lot of people are not going to be ready for this sort of knowledge. Okay, you really have to do is to really deprogram the mind, because everything we've been taught is a complete lie, is to keep us trapped. Okay, this is really advanced knowledge. Now, let's get straight into this. All of the ancients depicted other worlds, and they called this place Midgard. Midgard is the mid-garden, the middle garden. This is why the Masonic symbolism on the floor is always a black and white checkered board, symbolizing the polarity here, the good and bad, because we're in the middle garden, the heart. Earth rearranged spells heart. because we're in the heart of this system, or whatever it is, a super quantum computer, whatever you want to call it, simulation. Now, in the Quran, it talks about the 7 layers of heaven. All of these ancient artworks are depicting these different layers of reality. Okay, and look at the Egyptians here with the boat outside of the firmament. Boats travel on water, and this is exactly what the Masons are doing. So they're still using the same symbols. Why? Because it's the same knowledge, just hidden. The Egyptians have the same knowledge as the Freemasons. It's just hidden. Now, this cosmology that they're showing here, which is probably made maybe 100 years ago, this painting or artwork, is the exact same as the one we see here, with the arch, the boat. You know, it's similar, because the boat is symbolizing traveling these other worlds, because the ether is also symbolized as water, because if you look up at the stars through a telescope, it looks like it's water. It's shining through water, because this ether, whatever this substance is outside of this world, was symbolized as water. Okay, and look at all these ancient depictions showing these different layers of reality. Now, we are being trapped within this 3D dimensional world, which is the cube, the Saturn cube, because there are 6 sides to everything in this world: front, back, left, right, up and down. 6, which is the cube, because we're in the Saturn's world. Okay, now, always been depicted as a tree of life, the tree of the universe has always been depicted as this tree. Because let's get a bit deeper. Now, the cosmology of this reality is the sun, the moon, and Polaris, always in the Masonic art. The sun, the moon, and Polaris, the all-seeing eye. If you go inside of the temples, of the Masonic temples, they always have this star in the middle, shining light beams. Okay, look here. The light beams coming from the big star in the middle, which is Polaris. This eye is God. It's God's light shining down from his abundance. Now, when you astral travel, you will see this big ball of light above you, and this big ball of light is God. But you cannot travel towards it until you are pure. It doesn't work like that. You have to become formless. You have to become pure before you can become one with the light. In all these Masonic artworks, it's all depicting the star in the center. This star is Polaris, because Polaris is the way out of this place. And this is why you see the stairway to heaven all the way up to the light beam, the light source. What does it say in the Bible? God is light, because everything is made out of one substance, and that substance is light. And it symbolizes the eye, because God is an eye. All things that are alive have an eye. And we all say, I am. We all see these realities through eyes. God is an eye. He's the all-seeing eye. He sees all things at all times. And he is projecting this light. And this light comes down to create all the different levels of the worlds. And this is what the 2 pillars symbolize the number 11. 11, the number 1, is just a vertical line. It's the 1. It's a 1 point. 11 symbolizes the mirror nature of reality. Everything's mirrored. As above, so below. Now, the 11 also symbolizes openings, doorways. And as you can see here, an opening to the all-seeing eye. And you see it here again, an opening to the stairway all the way up to the light. This light is the light of God in the astral worlds, beyond this world. Now, Polaris has also been symbolized as the UFO. They put the truth in plain sight. So, you know, in the films, how the UFOs suck people up. That's what Polaris is doing. If you ascend beyond this world, if you do not ascend beyond this world, you will be reincarnated in this world. The whole thing is to outgrow this consciousness to the plane above. And I'm not just making this up, I'm going to be bringing in scriptures after this. But you can see with the Christmas tree, we always put a high, big star at the center, at the top, which is the star of Polaris, which is exactly what the Masons are doing here. The star at the top. And it's on top of our Christmas trees. And all of these symbolize the other stars, because Polaris is the most high star. And all the other stars are wrapped around the firmament lower than Polaris. And that's exactly what the Christmas tree is. And it's a triangle. It's a triangle, just like light beams travel from one point in the triangle, just like the all-seeing eye. It's a triangle. The light is coming from one point and sending its rays downward. You see, it's kind of like you see here with the water. And the lower you go, the darker it gets, the more evil it becomes. And this is what the ancients would call hell. Now, this all-seeing eye is Polaris. And below Polaris is Mount Meru, the North Pole, the magnetic North Pole. The Tower of Babel, which is in the Bible. The etymology of the word Babel, Ba meaning spirit, which gives the ability to move the soul through the worlds, which is that's the ancient Egyptian description of the word Ba, meaning of the word Ba. You have the Ka, the Ba, the Ak, but the Ba is the one that gives the ability for the soul to move through the worlds. Your soul can't speak into a world without incarnating into it. Now, the Tower of Babel symbolizes Mount Meru because it's the word Ba is the spirit which gives the ability for the soul to move through the worlds. The Tower of Babel is the magnetic North Pole, Mount Meru, which gives the... And you can see the ancient Tibetans always showing this depiction of these different worlds coming from the center. Because we have to ascend our consciousness. It's not about how good you are to reach heaven. It's about how you expand your consciousness, you expand your mind. So they teach now that you have to be good in order to reach to heaven. It's about expanding the mind, expanding your consciousness to these different planes, these different realms. So that's what it's about. And Jesus was known as the fisher of man. Now, Jesus is a massive part of this. He was known as the fisher of man because he was fishing. He could have been fishing. He could have been one of these deities that had come down from these different higher realities and pull people up. So they would. So they called Jesus the fisher of man. And he says unto them, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." So these deities that we see in the past, like Buddha, Krishna, Hermes, Thoth, Jesus, could all be these entities who were coming down to pick up the minds that were worthy enough to see the higher planes of reality. And this is why they called him the fisher of man. Now, when Jesus walks on water, there is a parable with Paul. And he says, but Jesus immediately said unto them, take courage, it is I, don't be afraid. He's talking about astral travel here. He's talking about leaving the body. Because when you leave the body in astral travel to see these alternative realities, you can't be afraid because fear is a bondage, which is what the Emerald Tablets talks about. Lord, if it's you, Peter replied, tell me to come to you on the water. The water. Come, he said. And Peter got down from the boat, walked on the water, and came towards Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid and began to sink. When you become afraid in astral travel, you sink back into your body. Lord, save me. So this is talking about Jesus pulling people up into different realities. And you can see the fish is the symbol of Jesus. Is another symbol of Jesus, a fish. Because fish symbolize deep occult knowledge. Because fish travel the depths of the ocean. And they symbolize us because we are fish underneath the ethers. And Jesus was pulling people up. You see, so the Bible is a people today believe the Bible is a book telling you how to reach to heaven, how to become godly and reach heaven. But you've got to become the Jesus Christ to see these alternative realities. Now look at the Emerald Tablets is a massive part, and it speaks so much about these different realities. Look what it says here. This is in Emerald Tablet 3. Then in my heart grew a great longing to conquer the pathway that led to the stars, which is exactly what the Masons depict in all of their art. Look, the ladder to the stars. And then he goes on to say, years after years I sought after wisdom, seeking new knowledge, following the way, until at last my soul in great travail broke from its bondage and bounded away. Broke from the bondage of the body. Free was I from the bondage of earth men. Free from the body, I flashed through the night. The stars. The stars are a massive part in the astral world. Each star is a different reality. And the true astrology is the star that you came from. You came through a star to reach this, to reach here. There is a reason why you are here. There's a reason why you have the personality traits, because your soul came from a specific star. This is why we call them stargates, because they are gates in and out of this reality. And Polaris is the way out to the higher worlds. Now look, far into space, my soul traveled freely into the infinite circles of light. Beyond knowledge were some planets and great gigantic beyond dreams of men. Then he goes to say, lift up your flame from out of the darkness, fly from the night and ye shall be free. Lift up your flame. Your flame is your soul, because it has to be lifted up out of the darkness. This is the darkness, this world, this body is the darkness. Because it's a bondage. You need to